Yes, guys, welcome to the next lesson. So we're going to be looking at currency correlation divergence. It sounds like a bit of a handful, but it's honestly quite easy once you get used to it. So yeah, just going to dive straight into it. So when trying to choose your pairs, you must not overexpose yourself in the market by going for too many similar pairs at the same time. Now, this is quite key in risk management plan because because of these main two reasons. If both pairs are following the same general bias, they could potentially both hit stop loss if they fail. For example, if you are selling both EU and GU, both pairs are very reliant on USD movement, so this can be over risky. So imagine one day you've got a few pairs on your watch list, might be GU, EJ, a few others, but if you're going for the same pairs that also correlate in the same direction as well, then potentially if one of them points of interest fails, the other one might fail as well. What can I do about this? All right, so let's just take an example. You've got EU and GU. You're both trying to sell them, and their points of interest are both coming up. So what do? Do you sell the euro or the pound? Now, both pairs are valid entry points, but you're not sure whether to enter one or both of them. The answer, we are looking for sales, so we expect USD to rise, right? So as the DX, so you can look at the DXY chart as well. As DXY rises, we expect EU and GU to drop. Now, what we need to look for, because we're trying to sell EU or GU, we need to look for the pair that can sell the most. So which is the weaker currency? Is it either euro or the pound? Now, one way of solving this is, especially if this is intraday as well, you look at Euro GBP to compare the both of them. This goes the same as well for if it's AUD and NZD. You look at AUD NZD as the pair, and you look at which is downtrending. In this case, intraday, EG, we find a valid entry for it to go down, for it to sell. So we can see that Euro GBP is going to be downtrending. What does that mean? That means that we choose EU to sell. The reason for that is because, look, if we're expecting the Euro GBP to go down, what does that mean? Euro sells, pound buys. Because as the pound buys, they're inversely correlated. So Euro GBP, it sells off. Now, if you look at the price action of both pairs, this is what you're going to find. You're going to find, because USD is the more dominant pair, each pair has the more dominant backed currency, and especially for EU and GU, it's usually the dollar, depending on fundamentals at the time as well. But let's take these two as an example. If you were to sell both of them, okay, potentially you might have got two good sales, but EU is going to provide you a much better sell because it drops faster, because it's so much weaker in that day. Now, you can also apply this logic to the higher time frames as well, and this works very, very well, especially when you've got correlations that work across the board. See, we need to look at different asset classes. We need to look at different currency pairs, sort of indexes as well. So DXY is the index of the USD pair. So in this situation, I would sell EU. Now, this is definitely a great skill to add to your arsenal when deciding which pair will be the better pair to trade for that day. Due to this, I only really look for a few pairs, and then intraday I decide which is the best for that day. So as you know, when it comes to my Sunday markup sessions, I always send in a few pairs that I've got in mind, points of interest, fundamentally backed and everything. But when it comes to actually trading them pairs, if a few of them simultaneously come to their point of interest, I have to decide at that point, which am I going to sell, which am I going to buy, whatever it is. I don't want to overexpose myself in the market, because a simple 0.5% loss, if I do it across the board, can turn into a few percentage points. So I'd much rather not take that loss. Of course, you can gain as much as well, but personally, I would look for the best correlated pairs and then just trade that. So yeah, guys, definitely always consider this before you're entering. It's something not many people do because they're always fixated. Oh, I only trade EU. Oh, I only trade GU. But I mean, I used to be one of them as well, where I would only trade a certain pair. But personally, when I see more free-flowing markets in other types of pairs, they're the ones that I go for. So yeah, guys, anyways, I'll see you in the next video and take care.